our latest is our mental health, which is scrolling along the bottom there, psychology and entrepreneurship. The link will be in the comments section very shortly, so please check it out. It is designed to really, really focus on entrepreneurship and the psychology behind it. We also have our Osler office hours, which is the next one will be October 15th, 10 o'clock to 1 p.m. Sign up, get some free advice, and we'll be, just come in and talk to us. And again, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. The Startup TNT top 20 is not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the 10th. So come on out there, start networking. You never know who you're going to meet. And to be quite honest, that's one of the ways that we met. So Hubba from the Canadian Food Innovation Network, how are you today?
Good. It's so good to be on your show, Jade. I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you for the kind words. I obviously you can see that, I spent almost 18 years in the food industry. This is my shirt that I love. I don't get to rock it very often. I had to give away a ton of Nathan's swag back in the day to get this. And every time I wear it, people just stare at me and probably in like, what the hell are you wearing?
You look good. Smoking steak and your name on that shirt.
Right there, really Jade. It is, I just get excited about it every time I wear this. My daughters hate it. It's just like, Dad, that is just the worst shirt ever. And I was like, I know, that's what makes it awesome. So again, I know the last time we've talked a few times, we had a great conversation at Inventures, and obviously with my passion for food and being part of building a food company and selling it, I just want to learn a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and then, a little bit about CFIN before we actually dive into a few other things.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Hubba Khatoon. I'm the Regional Innovation Director in the Prairies at Canadian Food Innovation Network, or CFIN for short. Our organization is all about sparking fresh ideas and really pushing boundaries exclusively within Canada's food industry. Now, I don't have a background in food. I am an economist by profession. So I've worked with Calgary Economic Development and with Prairies Economic Development Canada as an economist. It's so amazing to be able to transition into an industry that's so agile. It's so tech and innovation forward. Within our community, we have over 5,000 members from around the globe that are creating a really vibrant, a really fast growing, dedicated community that's driving change and creating a lot of impact across the food value chain. So it's pretty exciting to be part of this. And, I'm so passionate about helping local entrepreneurs and businesses take, their big ideas to the next level. So it's an exciting space for sure.
And it's a fairly large space, we'll call it. I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening in the food industry, a lot of different things that are, that go on. Again, I was on it on equipment side and things like that, obviously with Nathan's dealing with the Cisco's GFSs and restaurants and things like that all around. Like, so why don't we share why don't we talk a little bit about, how, what you guys do, how you play in it, how you help some of these entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs or even just businesses at all in this industry.
Yeah, for sure. So we came to life in 2021 with the support of Government of Canada's Strategic Innovation Fund. So and through Canadian agricultural strategic partnerships and priorities. So since then, we've been really, really laser focused on inspiring real change. Primarily, that it's massive. So if you look at the comparison between primary agriculture and food, our focus is food. And I'll tell you the difference. So primary agriculture is basically farm equipment, how to create more efficiency in processes in the farm. And we work in after the farm, so post-farm gate, all the way from production, distribution, processing to until food comes to your plate. Primary agriculture contributes only about $30 billion to GDP versus food processing, packaging, distribution, and food service amount for $90 billion on Canada's GDP, which is massive. There's no better time for this movement, and there's so much happening in the prairies. Now, in terms of exactly what we do, while we provide funding, We provide connectivity across Canada. We provide, we have a resource finder, we have a funding finder, we have a network, an online platform called Yodel, YODL.ca. I was just telling you about it, Jade. It's so exciting. It's basically LinkedIn and Reddit combined, but exclusively for the food sector, and it's free. It takes a minute to get on, and then you have this wealth of information, and you can post live and get answers, and it's so awesome. So all of those things. And then we have so many different funding programs. So we have 3 funding programs. They're active periodically throughout the year. We just closed our round about a month ago for our summer program called Innovation Booster. Actually have received the greatest number of applications from the prairies through that program. So a big shout out to all the companies in Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan that applied. And we're going through our judging process, and we'll update you soon. So yeah, it's that's what's happening at CFIN. Lots and really, really useful stuff for companies.
Well, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about. I mean, anybody's listening right now, you can go to the CFIN website and the Yodel website. They're in the comment section. Just click on them; it'll take you directly there. I'd like to dive into some of these programs that you have. So let's go into some of the funding stuff first before we go into the Yodel side. So please explain what some of these funding. What's it for? Who can apply? Size of company or anything that any information that you want to share with us.
Absolutely. So 3 funding programs that we have. One of them is called Innovation Booster, which happens more frequently throughout the year. Now, Innovation Booster is for companies between a technology readiness level 3 to a 7, which
Okay.
means we're supporting businesses that are moving from early concept validation to a more advanced stage of development. And basically, we fund 50% of the total project cost up to $200,000. Usually, these projects last a year. We help you connect with companies that you can work with as partners. And our goal is to help basically 2 types of companies through Innovation Booster. One is tech innovators. So that can be companies that are in hardware, they're making robotics, in software, so AI, machine learning, data analytics, and services. So they're tech innovators. So they've got ideas on how they can action on technology and apply it to the food sector, but oftentimes they're looking for that solution seeker. And the other type of companies that we fund are solution seekers. So they're tech adopters. They have scaled. They now know that they can, generate good revenue through their model. And now they're looking to create more efficiency, create more productivity within their processes and their products. And so we connect those 2. So those are our target market. We fund those companies through our Innovation Booster program. So that one happens about 3 times a year. Now, the second funding program is called Food Innovation Challenge. That's for more consortium of companies, so it's a larger scale funding. We can fund up to $2 million, and it's for a few companies coming together to really create some cutting edge, groundbreaking work in the food sector. The third one, which is probably my favorite, is called Food Tech Next. That happens only once a year, and it's for tech companies that have applications in food. And a lot of these tech companies don't have a background in food, but they know that they can do something, or they want to be able to do something. So we connect them with a pitch coach. They go through an entire process. And then once they're selected to get funding from us, then there's an event, usually happens in February in Ottawa. I call it the Super Bowl of food in Ottawa around that time. And those companies come and they share more with investors and partners. We host the event about what they're doing and exactly how CFIN is funding their project. So it's all really, really exciting. Through all of our funding, we've actually now given out about $19 million to companies across Canada in the last 3 years. So again, we've been pretty recent. We came to life in 2021, and we've supported 68 projects. And we've actually supported over 80 IP generations through those projects. So yeah, it's happening live, it's happening fast, and we're so excited to be the catalyst of this in real time.
No, I love that, right? Especially that, everybody's out there and everybody wants money and things along those lines. And it's nice that it's at a, like a TRL 3 plus, right? Because it's some of them just aren't ready and or maybe a little bit too early, things along those lines. But you did mention the IP. And again, one of the things that I've seen as an entrepreneur, as an investor, is that IP kind of gets, shuffled to the bottom because it is expensive. It can take a long process. The money might be able to use. So it's, it's kind of a, people keep it as a trade secret more than anything. And again, I've been a huge fan of the Elevate IP program about, making sure that people understand that process. So having a plan for your IP, having a plan for your food, having a plan for, capital and things along those lines, and handing out 68 grants or whatever you guys are, non-dilutive funding that you guys are working with it. I think that's absolutely incredible. So what type of process do they have to go through? Do they just head to the website to apply for this? What do they have to do?
Oh yeah, it's super simple. So on our website under funding, there will be an apply now button that pops up. And all they have to do is go through that, put in all the information about their company. If they're based in the prairies, I'm their girl. They can connect with me, ask me any questions that they have. If they're all across Canada, just like me, there's 4 others that are regional innovation directors and my counterparts across Canada. We have Tyson McInnes in the Atlantic. We have Julie Degla in Quebec. We have Marsha in Ontario. And we have Lavina Gully in BC and myself in the prairies. And we're there to help in any questions you have around that funding program. There's also a very comprehensive program guide that's on that very page for funding. So you can go through it, see what's eligible, see what's not, see how you can tap into other sources of funding. And then what's so exciting is that because we're boots on ground as regional innovation directors across Canada, we can connect you to companies that you would want to partner with on that specific project. So if you're a tech innovator and you have this exciting technology that would change the way you order at a restaurant or the way you deliver food or reducing food waste, and you want to be able to test this technology with someone and we fund it, that's very possible. So we can connect you with a company. They can come in as a service provider for you or a potential partner, and we can fund a project like that up to 50% of the total project cost, and you can actually action on that innovation.
That is, thank you, Derek, for the comment on there. And yeah, this is where the conversation is onward and upwards, and we're loving it. So I guess, like, helping, again, I know being in the food industry a long, 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 long time ago, a lot of companies that, I talked to, went to trade shows and anything, never really had a whole lot of support. And I mean, I'm just loving what the CFIN is doing, and the network that you're building across Canada. And again, obviously I'm more focused on the prairies and things like that, but a lot of these food companies are national and global. So I want to dive into the Yodel. And again, anybody that wants any information on this, go to the CFIN website, click on the link in the comment section, and the yodel.ca is up there as well. Because I think this is something that's very, very important. Like, obviously, we all understand the power of LinkedIn. I'm not the I go to Reddit once in a while, but I know lots of people that are there religiously. So I would like to dive into that and talk about the support that you guys are giving through this program and platform.
Yes, Yodel. And by the way, it's all connected. So if you go on CFIN, you'll be able to become a member. It's free. There's no cost. Takes 2 minutes. You get on the Yodel platform through that. So it's all connected. It's all in one piece. And Yodel, I love Yodel. Yodel is our members only innovation playground. So basically, it's where all food professionals can dive into a world of unique insights. There's lots of resources there, lots of connections there. And those are all designed to help you solve those tricky problems that you have with connectivity or research and development or IP, or you can't find a co-packer, or you don't know how to implement your solution, you don't know how to navigate a certain regulation. All of those questions can be answered by others who have actually found a solution or provide a solution through Yodel. So it's pretty interesting. So if you're looking for, let's say, a co-packer, or you're looking for suppliers, or you're looking for consultants, or you're looking for a lab space, or you're looking for even job postings, because we have a career hub there. Yodel does it all. And what's awesome is it's at your fingertips, and it's always there live. So like, it's ready to break down any roadblocks. It's always there. So I was just this morning posting on it and going through some of the posts that are there, and a few things that we're talking about, just to give you a little bit of a flavor as to what it is okay, so someone's here, they're acquiring full cream milk powder from the UK. Someone's looking for a co-packer for pea protein. There's an invitation that I posted yesterday in Edmonton, an agri-food roundtable, where companies are invited if they want to unlock opportunities in the Midwest. There's labeling for CFIA, and how to do that, transforming food safety through AI and digital solutions, how to do that. So it's vast, it's massive. There's over 5,000 posts on Yodel, and you can search through it a lot. You can research on to understand trends in the food sector too. It's definitely a hidden gem.
Oh God, I can't even tell you how I would have loved to have that back in the day. I mean, as a I even when we sold, I considered ourselves still a startup, and I remember we didn't even have money to get a lawyer to get the French labeling on our packaging before we went into Safeway, Sobeys, and Loblaws, and I literally had to Google Translate every question from English, cut and paste, put it into French. And we didn't have $10,000-$15,000 that law firms wanted for that. But to have something like this to put out there, maybe there was an independent, or maybe somebody that, could have done it for a lot, or maybe a student, or whoever it may be, that would have found something. Like, I could have found this so useful for all the help that, oh, I mean, mine was just trial and error. Like, it was just, and then after the fact that you're like, oh shit, I wish I would have known that a year and a half ago.
Yeah, great. I understand your story, and the story is similar for a lot of companies. And it makes sense because Canada is so physically large, right? I've noticed even in my region, companies work in silos because they just find resources around them that that are more approachable. However, because of those silos, there's so many missed opportunities across Canada. And that's where Yodel helps. It's all across Canada. It's online. Someone from Quebec can ask a question, and someone from Alberta can respond, and they can collaborate on a project. So, I mean, it's such an exciting space. And also, um, a lot of questions that we get is, so what exactly do you help with, or which sectors do you work in? So I'll give you a few examples. Food processing is one for sure. Packaging is another one. Sustainability is massive. IP, we've talked a little bit on IP. There's such a huge gap in companies understanding if they need an IP policy in the food space, or when they need an IP policy and how to navigate through that. Then there's embracing failure and mental health, especially in the in any failure that plays a role in innovation. There's capacity and how you can build that in food processing. So there's a lot of those elements that we work in.
No, absolutely. And I can guarantee you, especially, I mean, obviously you can read what's scrolling across the bottom. We're big fans of the mental health and really support entrepreneurs and mental health. But I mean, just having somebody that maybe you put in there that says, hey, who can I reach out to? Who can I talk to? What can I do? And again, for mental health, for expansion, for looking for, who knows what you're looking for, to put it in there. So it's like, and I love the fact that you actually kind of looked over there and gave a live answer of what's going on. So when people are in there, like, is it fairly active? Do you have a lot of daily users? Is there, talk about the platform a little more, and maybe a little bit about, what it's doing now and where that platform might go.
Yeah, so it's active daily 24/7. You'll see a lot of responses to people's posts through our team. where they're active 24/7 on it. You'll see, responses from government officials, from incubators and accelerators, from other companies. So the community portal itself is always live. If there's an event there, sometimes we partner with associations as well. So we give out, freebies or free tickets, etc. So for example, we're partnering with Banff Venture Forum this year. And so we were giving out free tickets to companies in the food space if they want to participate in the Banff Venture Forum. So see a lot of that there. There's an entire link that has all events in the food space if you choose to participate. There's a funding finder on it. So we actually worked with MentorWorks to put that funding finder on Yodel. There's over 1,800 different funding programs exclusively for people that are working in the food space. That's on Yodel. So you can search it down by your company, the revenue, size of revenue, number of employees, just to narrow it down by which funding programs apply to you. So that's really, really resourceful. There's a resource finder there. It's still in beta version. We're still adding to it, which is a goal for 2025 and beyond, is to add more and more value to that resource finder. So anything you're looking for, you can just do a quick search through Yodel and find that. There's also a career hub there for anyone that is either looking to change their careers and come to the exciting world of food, or looking to scale their career. So there's a lot of resources available through that as well. And then we aim to advance it through bringing a lot more support through Yodel. So definitely a lot more research as to what's happening. So you'll see news and you'll see articles. For example, we recently released an article on food science. We released an article on inflation, food inflation, and how it's impacting literally everybody, because we all buy groceries, and what the impact of that could be, and how we can, what's an aspirational word to look at, and what's a more realistic world to look at as well. So you'll see a lot of those elements there. It's quite useful for literally anyone in the food ecosystem.
Oh, I can't even stress how important that is. Like, just to have the collaboration, to have somebody to talk to just put I mean, there's no stupid questions. Put something in there and see. I mean, it's we were I mean, I talk about having like this is literally like an online entrepreneurs organization, an EO, right? Where the power that you have in your network, and even if you were in your little forum with 8 people and 8 other founders, you'd probably talk 20% business and 80% of the issues that you maybe have anywhere else. And the power of going to your network and reaching out to your peers, because your problem's not unique, or the struggle or what you're looking for is not unique. Somebody has gone through it, somebody has struggled, and somebody is always more than willing to share their experience and how they got through it.
Exactly. And it's amazing for international companies to be able to understand what's happening here as well. I'll give you an example. Just recently, a company from Germany created an office in Saskatchewan, and they were looking for sucrose or sugar alternative producers. And we connected them with a few of them, and now they're starting collaborations with them. And it all happened very rapidly, and it all happened through Yodel. So it's simple connections and simple collaborations that can lead to really, really impactful solutions.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned that you're partnering with like Banff Venture Forum and a few other, I guess, funding camp catalysts, or, I guess as a goal of something along those lines to make sure that the people that are looking to raise capital, whatever it be, pre-seed, angel, Series A, whatever they're looking for, to make sure that you're connecting them with the right people, the right funds, and so forth.
Yeah. So we know where the gaps are in the food sector. Number one is funding. We provide funding. We want to connect companies to other organizations that provide support and funding, whether it's investors or it's government sector. So we want to be able to facilitate that for our members and for everyone in the food ecosystem. Number two is getting the right connectivity to be able to solve problems where they are. So that's why we do a lot of the networking sessions that we do. We do a lot of, member meetups. Just next week, I am taking 20 of our members. By the way, the entire thing sold out in 1 hour, which was intense. we're taking 20 of our members to the Food Processing Development Center in Leduc, just to help them understand the business development aspect, the technical aspect, and all the support that the food center provides. So we do a lot of those kind of networking engagement events as well, to make sure that companies can get the support in connecting with each other and really like solving problems together. Then the third thing we know is they have problems in understanding regulation or how to scale. And so a lot of the resources on Yodel will be able to provide them with that support as well. And we do a lot of pathfinding. So anything, beyond TRL7 that we don't serve, we connect them to companies that do serve that. And so it becomes this really nice network-based approach. And that's what the innovation ecosystem in food is all about.
Again, anybody that wants more information, head to the website, CFIN. It's in the comment section. The Yodel is in there as well, but obviously you can connect through it from there. I think this is such a great platform to have. And again, I can't stress, I wish we would have had it so many years ago. It would have made my life a lot easier, because a lot of these early stage companies are, single founders, maybe co-founders. Like they don't have time to get out there and do a lot of the things. I mean, they forget about networking. They forget about going out there because they live, eat, breathe their business. And of course they have their families and everything goes on. So having something that's, at their fingertips, I just think is priceless.
Yeah. I agree 100%. A few key things that we're looking on for next year, which are really, really exciting, is we're doing this thing called innovation scouting. What that is some anchor companies that have unique innovation challenges. We'll connect them to startups or scale ups that have solutions, and then we'll fund that project. So that's pretty exciting. We're doing student competition as well, because we want to engage students early on. So we'll do a food tech idea, a next generation of food innovators, where they compete for a prize for their big idea in food tech. So that really sparks innovation and advances that. We may do a few live Yodel sessions, like problem solving in real time. I know Yodel is always active. We've never done kind of an instant problem solving like this, and we think there's capacity for us to do that. We used to do member meetups in person, and people would come in with live problems, but we want to be able to see if we can do this kind of, in a more agile setting in real time. So we want to test that out a little bit as well. And then AI, oh gosh, Jade, that's massive. AI and its applications in food, and really how it's changing food production, all the way from post-farm gate to the plate. So we really want to be able to support that and advancement in that. So yeah, a few of those areas we're really looking at over the next year.
Well, I think that obviously I'm a fan of having live sessions. You can see the power in having a weekly topic, or a weekly open Q&A, or whatever it is. I mean, I think that would be extremely beneficial for people. And I guess my only piece of advice is that, if you're going to have to do it for more than a month, you're going to probably have to say, okay, we're going to commit to this for 6 to 9 months, because it'll take people a long time to remember that you're on every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Kind of like Founders Coffee in Calgary here. It's every Tuesday, 7:30. Like, it just runs on its own, and people show up. So the consistency is something that's important if you're going to launch that. And I mean, you just answered my next question already about, kind of what's next. And I do love that idea about having that open forum session, to really, you can bring in subject matter. I hate the word experts, but just whoever it is on certain things, and it'll be very beneficial, because again, this platform is there to help. It's there to make sure that people get what they need. And I think, having something that's live would be extremely beneficial.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, and I mean, the sad thing about having these conversations is that they eventually have to come to an end.
That went by pretty fast.
That's generally the comment I always get, saying, "Oh my God, we're almost done. We're at 30 minutes already. Holy smokers!" When time flies when you're having fun. But what I would like, before we go is I always have one last question, and I'd like to kind of put a little bit of a spin on it, just because this is, the food service and things along those lines. So, if you had one piece of advice for a startup or maybe a TRL3 or somewhere, so, company around that line that's looking to expand and get into, grow their business in food service, what would that be?
Oh, that's a good one. For tech innovators that have applications in food or think they have applications in food, my biggest advice would be to focus on solving real world problems and not just creating an attractive technology. And the reason why I say that is, focus on reducing food waste or specific, like improving in sustainability or streamlining supply chain and food production, because the most important food tech companies that we've worked with or we have funded through Canadian Food Innovation Network are the ones that understand the unique pain points of food processing, of retailers, of restaurateurs, of chefs, of consumers, and then they develop solutions that make their lives easier. So, big tip, engage with the end user as early as possible when you're creating a technology in either hardware, software, or services, and engage often. So whether you're building, an AI powered tool for supply chain optimization or creating novel packaging solutions, we funded a few companies that have done both. The constant feedback loop from industry and who you want to apply it to and who you want to share your technology with, that really provides true value. And we can find a collaboration like this. So might as well. And in short, what I would say, fall in love with the problem you're solving in the food sector, not just the technology you're building, and you'll actually be quite impactful through that process.
I love it. Great answer. And I couldn't agree more. And, it's, I can't stress enough about how Yodel is going to help people. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do with it, because it is going to be, I know when we were talking to chefs and, we hired food brokers across Canada and Western Canada, Ontario, the Maritimes. It would have been loved to kind of get some feedback from people about, we hired three great ones. We did our own due diligence, but it would have been nice to have somebody to say, hey, what was your experience on this? So the power that's going to be behind that is priceless. And again, I can't thank you enough for coming on, sharing your story, and what you guys do to support all the food industry, in our great country. So thank you so much, and yeah, I look forward to our next conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So excited to share this with everyone. And hopefully, I'll see you in person over the next few weeks. There's lots happening in the region.
Oh, there is out and about all the time now. So again, scrolling across the bottom is a psychology and entrepreneurship. Align your mind. It's a free course put on by Align Your Mind, Robert, and Pure Guidance. So the comment section, the link is there. Osler office hours, email address is there if you need some help. And yes, I look forward to coming across you again, and maybe we'll see you next week at the Startup TNT Top 20 event. And for everybody else, have a great week. Enjoy another beautiful day here in Alberta, and we will chat soon. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
everybody, have a great day. Bye bye.